it was more a testament to the people. So I know last time we caught up, I'm huge fans of Elliot Hulse, Wim Hof, Ido Portal, and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing to put all their teachings into a book? So that's exactly what I did. I've been very fortunate throughout the last 10 years to train with Olympians, world record holders, Royal Marines, and I just thought, imagine putting them all into a book, but a cohesive conceptual framework. So not just random stories, but like a user's guide for your body. That's what we call it in there. Just like, how can I run my body? And that sounds so weird to most people, but again, it's so heavily influenced by Ralph Waldo Emerson. If you teach a man principles, he can create his own methods. So for all of the methods out there at the moment, looking at German volume training, 10 sets of 10, and the Atkins diet and keto diet, and these are all methods. But if you actually understand principles, human biology has remained relatively unchanged for thousands of years. We understand most principles, laws of thermodynamics, calories in versus calories out. We understand how protein, fats, and carbs work. And this is the first book that actually just takes everything back, puts it into a conceptual framework. So there's lots of diagrams, as you've seen in there, where you go, oh, right, yeah, I now get it. And then you can start to systematically program your body, as well as all the cool little, narratives, and it tells you about the 10 years when I've gone, traveling with the Yamabushi monks and Sam Bushman. So it's not heavy science, but at the same time, I've always said I want people to read that, and I want to create an army of experts, not followers. I want people to have read that and be able to write their own diet plans, their own fitness routines. Because if you teach a man principles, he can create his own methods, Ralph Waldo Emerson. And that was the main motive behind that. I don't know if I'll write another book after this one. I've really enjoyed writing it, but I'm like, that is a decade of just everything. When I handed it to the publisher, they were like, oh, we commissioned you for 800,000 words, and it was just, they were like, what are we going to do with this? I thought, we're going to have to put it into a book. And the team were amazing. That, as you spoke to me, but I'm completely all over the place, and they've managed to actually put it into this book now.
Okay, how long have you been reading Ralph Waldo Emerson?
A while. Like I said, this was way back. He influenced it like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Only because looking at the, and it starts with a story from Loughborough, when I was at Loughborough University, and at that time, you looked at so many sort of modern books, and you just think, you're going to kind of come and go, whereas like Socrates, Aristotle, and you look at these books, Ralph Waldo Emerson, they are there, and they're timeless. And it was just like, you look at all of the fitness books, and I say like fitness books, not like Verkhoshansky and Mel Siff's Super Training and various books like that are incredible, or Chris McDougall, Born to Run, amazing. I was like, what's happened to those books? One that people are going to say like, wow, you've not read the world's fittest book. That's one thing that I wanted people to say. You have to read it. It will sit on people's shelves, and it will be in libraries for years to come. Legacy.
Right, legacy. So real principles, timeless classic. That's what you want to put.
Exactly.
Which is the opposite of what sells today, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Were you worried about that? Were the publisher worried about that? Because
yeah.
You should say the world's fittest book in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
This is exactly it. I'm so glad because I said this in that it's never my intention to write this book to actually make money. I genuinely want people to just be like, wow, have you not read that? And I said, this could be called, as you said, get fast quick, or abs in 2 minutes. But the reality is, it needs to be the big book of hard work and thermodynamics. If you want a diet book, and people are like, oh, that's not going to sell. No, but that's true. That's actually what you need to hear. And there's a huge chapter on that, as you know, talking about the sociology of the fitness industry, looking at it almost in terms of like, philosophy. Why is it the way it is? And that's what I really want people to do, almost just awaken to, wow, we're kind of being fed. Mel Siff, who wrote Super Training with Verkhoshansky, one of the greatest strength and conditioning books ever, and he talks about it in terms of we're being fed fast food. That's what we're being given now. All fitness, magazines, publications and stuff, a lot of them, it's this idea of fast food and books.
Of course they are. I mean, look at the front cover of, dare I say, these men's health type magazines. I mean, usually it's the latest ab routine and the latest this and the latest that. because that's what sells. So they're selling what, of course, people want to consume, right? It's almost like the clickbait of these things. So you're trying not to write that book.